Here's another thought for you to consider and to think about. In the Bible, it says, do not have idols. But then what is an idol, right? So the question is, what is an idol? This is not just simply from thinking about it, but it's in some insights that I've gotten recently. Of course, it's not super deep insights, but hopefully this can inform you and help you guide your life in a better way. Now, the way I see the world now is from a Christian perspective. And what that means is I see the world as a physical world that is made up of energy. And this energy, or I would say the physical world, overlies a spiritual one. And so the underlying framework is spiritual. And I think there's various layers of spiritual. But it is basically the Christian framework of the world, of how the world exists. Now, we don't totally understand it. We just understand a little bit more and more through science and through insights that we get from going inward and listening to God inside of us. But I somehow thought about idols the other day, and I asked myself, so what is an idol? So, we can have various idols. Like basically an idol, in my definition now, is paying attention, excessive attention to something that steals your energy, or you could say that you're depending on something that actually does not provide you with a lot of energy. It actually steals energy from you, or it sucks your life from you. And this could be like work. This could be paying too much attention to taking care of your money, for instance. Sorry, there seems to be an animal above the ceiling. Anyway, an idol appears to be something that we pay too much attention to, but it's also something that we depend on. But though we believe that we should depend on it, it actually steals us or strips us of our life. And what do I mean by life? It strips us of happiness and peace. So for instance, could it be alcohol? When we're drinking too much alcohol, we think that we need the alcohol to keep us sane, perhaps, to keep us from feeling strong emotions, perhaps, or trying to get away from bad thoughts that we have underlying it all. Perhaps those thoughts are being suppressed. Anyway, it could be drugs, it could be television even, it could be like just overwatching YouTube or TikTok. Perhaps TikTok becomes not just an escape, it actually prevents us from examining ourselves and examining our lives. So it's a distraction. Distractions could become idols because it's like we become dependent on them to kind of get through the day, you know what I mean? And when we do so, we put our power into them. That means we come to spiritually depend on whatever it is that we are paying attention to. It could be the business. It could be like perhaps you have a business. It could be a business because you are so dependent on it. It could be money. It could be another person. It could be a celebrity, for instance. It could be in Thailand, where I am right now. It could be a a physical idol, like a statue of the Buddha, or it could be a Hindu statue, for instance, that people pray to. But when we pay attention to those, basically worship those things by being dependent on those things, we give our power away spiritually. And so we lean on those things. But instead, God says in the Ten Commandments that we should lean onto God more than anything. There should be no idols. At least everything else should be, we should not put our dependence upon over God. So we should put our dependence on God, and hopefully God will make things happen that, well, God will make things happen that will help you, so that you become less dependent on the world, become less dependent on your doctor, even become less dependent on the various. Now, I don't want you to unreasonably just come to just chuck your previous life to do this without understanding what's going on. It's like when we put our dependence upon God more, trust in Him and have faith in Him, we give Him our power, we give Him our belief that He will take care of us. And when we do so, we give Him the power. When we put faith in our own business, for instance, our own money, we give our money or business power over us. But what happens is that power over us enslaves us to it. So we become a slave to that idol because we are dependent upon it. Now, I really think that it is, maybe in a future video I'll talk more about the nuances of it, but I want to say that, when we give power to something other than God, we sort of give our power, our life power, or life energy away. And I feel that as we go through life, and if we're truly wanting a better life, we need to give power back to God where it belongs. And God is also with each of us. We are connected to God inside of us. And when we depend upon Him more and more and more as life goes on, we build strength, and we flow in the power of God. And I'll talk more about that in the future. Okay, so I hope this really blesses you in some way, and thank you for listening.